You know it. You love it. It's the ice cream cone. In our culture, it comes in just about every shape and size, and we use it for one glorious purpose, to hold our favorite frozen treat. Some of you might even be dreaming of one right now. But what do we really know about it? Where did it come from? And more importantly, why was this perfect edible vessel not invented in a lab, but born from a single frantic day of pure desperation? If you think the answer is simple, you're not totally wrong, but also not totally right, because the ice cream cone is a curious concoction that blends an unsanitary problem, a bit of neighborly ingenuity, and a dash of World's Fair magic into one iconic and delicious thing we know today. So get ready, because we're about to uncover the strange, sweet, and storied journey of the ice cream cone. Before we go all the way back, let's look at what we have now. At its core, the modern ice cream cone is a simple, baked conical pastry designed to be eaten along with the ice cream it holds. Its function is as brilliant as it is simple. It's a bowl you can eat. Its taste can range from a neutral, wafer-like crispiness to a sweet, crunchy cookie flavor. It's a fixture in our summers and a staple of our dessert culture. But the cone of today is a world away from where it started. To understand how we got here, we have to go back to a time before it even existed, and the messy problem it was created to solve. The ice cream cone doesn't have ancient roots, but its predecessor was a public health nightmare. Before the cone became a household item, street ice cream was often sold in a small, reusable glass dish called a penny lick. Vendors in cities like London and New York would serve a small scoop for a penny. The customer would lick the glass queen right there on the street and hand it back. The vendor would then, if the customer was lucky, give it a quick rinse in a bucket of dirty water before serving the next person in line. It was an unsanitary mess and a perfect vehicle for spreading diseases like tuberculosis and cholera. These early methods were not made for convenience or pleasure, but for pure, low-cost profit. And they were a dangerous alternative to proper clean dishware. This brings us to the part that changes everything. Why was its invention an act of desperation? The most famous story takes place at the 1904 St. Louis World's Fair. It was a sweltering summer day, and the fair was packed with people looking for a way to cool down. An ice cream vendor named Arnold Fornacieux had one of the most popular booths at the fair. His line was massive, stretching far down the midway. He was selling ice cream so fast that he completely ran out of clean bowls. With a crowd of paying customers still waiting, he was facing a disaster and was about to have to close his stand for the day. The ice cream cone, as we know it, owes a lot to one person's quick thinking, a man named Ernest Hamwi. Right next to Fornacieux's ice cream stand, Hamwi, a Syrian immigrant, was selling a crisp, waffle-like pastry called a Zalabia. Seeing his neighbor Arnold about to shut down, Hamwi had a brilliant idea. He took one of his hot, pliable waffles off the griddle, quickly rolled it into a cone shape before it could cool and harden, and handed it to the overwhelmed ice cream vendor. Fornacieux put a scoop of ice cream in it, and just like that, the first ever ice cream cone was served. It was an instant sensation. Customers loved that they could eat the dish, and it solved Fornacieux's problem. The commercial formula was set, born from a moment of pure neighborly improvisation. But as the cone went mainstream at the fair, something fundamental changed. The idea was so good, so simple, that its origin instantly became controversial. One of the most defining qualities of that first cone was its spontaneous, hand-rolled nature. However, in the years immediately following the fair, multiple people who had been there, from other vendors to an inventor named Italo Marchiony who had a patent from 1903 for an edible cup, claimed to be the true inventor. This led to a flurry of new patents being filed, not for the idea itself, but for cone rolling machines. While this made cones easier and cheaper to produce, some argue that it lost a little of its character and soul in the process. This shift also had consequences, taking the invention from a story of neighborly help and paving the way for its complete industrial production. Interestingly, our version of the cone is a distinctly American phenomenon that has since spread worldwide. That first rolled waffle cone set the stage for a modern renaissance in edible ice cream vessels. Just as industrial versions took over, the concept evolved. The flat-bottomed cake cone, lighter and less sweet, was developed for easier mass production and handling. Then came the crunchy, sweet sugar cone, a sturdier option that mimics the flavor of the original waffle-style cone. Thanks to these developments, we are now living in a golden age of choice, from the mass-produced cake cones you find in the freezer aisle to small-batch artisanal waffle cones made fresh in ice cream parlors, bringing back that authentic old-timey flavor from the 1904 World's Fair. So, was the ice cream cone really born from an act of desperation? To put it simply, yes, it was. What began as a solution to a public health problem, the penny lick, transformed into a global icon thanks to a frantic moment at a World's Fair. The name of the inventor remains a topic of debate, but the story of its origin is a nod to ingenuity, not corporate planning. So there you have it, the strange, sweet, and storied journey of the ice cream cone. It's not quite what it started as, but it has a century of tradition behind it. A history that stuck thanks to a hot day and a helpful neighbor, and a place in our culture that still sparks joy today. It reminds us that even the simplest things, a cone, a scoop, a summer treat, can have surprisingly deep roots. What do you think? What other simple things have a history you'd like us to explore? Let us know in the comments below. Thank you for joining us on this journey. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more stories woven through the smallest details.